it, drop it, quit it.
I'm so over that.
Didn't finish, and it was one of it. Leave it, drop it, quit it.
Give it up, babe.
We don't finish, it doesn't even matter.
You gonna finish that?
Of course not.
I'm done here.
Welcome to You Gonna Finish That. I'm Zila.
And I'm Adji.
And this is our podcast where we talk about our long list of unfinished business. And today's topic, we're going to talk about therapy. Now, Adji, you actually brought this topic up. You said maybe add therapy to the list. So do you want to talk about why you thought it'd be a good topic?
Sorry, I still want to start with...
Sorry.
This Week
I didn't know.
Unfinished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah, got you.
Every week we have a segment called This Week Unfinished where we talk about something that we started but did not finish that week.
Yes.
I have two things to talk about this week. First of all, and we're releasing these episodes after we've recorded them kind of far in advance. So the Cowboy Carter tour is coming. Don't know when this episode will air. So I started but did not finish buying my outfit. So I bought this hat. The thing with me and hats, they never fit. They never fit.
You have a big ass head.
I have a big ass head. My thing also...
You got it from your mama.
That people don't talk about enough. Why do you say one size fits all on hats, knowing people have drastically different size heads? So when you're buying the hat, it's people are like, it runs big, it runs big, it runs big. Not big enough?
Right.
Really
I do
upsetting.
feel like, is it fair though, because you're an outlier? It's like those scatter graphs, and then you're way over here. And it's
okay.
You can't account for everything.
Well, now I know how the plus size girlies feel because this is crazy. You know?
No, don't do that.
What? No. Am I lying?
Don't do that.
Am I lying? Because
No. You're not about to make me fat phobic for your fucking big ass head.
You're body shaming me so bad right now. Because why? Okay, why not say one size fits most? One size fits all.
Yeah.
I'm taking you to court.
No, that's fair. It's not fair. So it doesn't fit on your head at all.
It fits, but not like I would want it to. Also, I'm kind of rethinking the whole... I was going to build the outfit around the hat. Sometimes you just have a central thing you need to build it on. But my thing is, okay, with the hat, it's all kind of obstructive. I'd be a little pissed if I was standing behind someone with a hat. Now...
Right.
But hats are always such a commitment outfit-wise. Hair-wise specifically.
Fair enough.
If I'm wearing that hat and I get sweaty and I take the hat off, my hair, I'm going to look crazy for the rest of the tour.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Hats are tricky. When is your date?
So I'm going twice. So I'm going on May 15th, which is a Thursday, with the parents. I got a ticket for our dad. He didn't ask for one, but I was like, let me get one. And I haven't told him he's going. And I haven't told him he does need to pay me for that ticket. But... I did get him one. You
haven't told him that you're making him a sequin cowboy hat as well. And you will need to pay for that as well.
The hat that I bought that actually doesn't fit me, he's going to have to wear that because it has to be used. I have to get my money's worth.
I don't know if it's because the thought of our dad at a Cowboy Carter concert is funny
comical.
enough.
When I was buying the ticket, I was giggling to myself.
What? Is this all a funny thing for you?
Okay.
Do you think he's really gonna go?
I think he would enjoy it. I do think he would enjoy it. She puts on a show, regardless of.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, of course.
Whether you listen to the album or not, it's gonna be a good show.
100%.
Now I don't know his take on country music. I've never heard him listen to it.
I think I can guess.
Okay.
But Beyonce, it's different. It's different.
My other thought was
so funny
because our mom didn't respond when I was like, "Hey," I was like, because she was like, "Let's go to the Cowboy Carter ticket." She was the first one to text me, even my friends texted me.
I was in the group chat. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and so when the pre-sale happened, I was like, hey, do you still want to go? because was like, okay, mentally, like, okay, I'm going to go one day with my parents and one day with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with my mom and then one day with my friends. And then when the day of the pre-sale, I was like, hey, like, do you still want to go? She didn't respond. And I'm like, she must not understand the gravity.
Behavior. She doesn't.
Like,
because,
the tickets,
she doesn't understand that. It's not like back in the day when you were going to see Lenny Kravitz and you just showed up at the box office, I guess, and got a ticket. Like, this is serious business.
This is like warfare, basically. It's technological warfare. So
I felt bad because I got a pre-sale thing, but like, I have no...
Well, no, I mean, if you weren't a body in line, you didn't cause any harm.
Yeah, that's true.
Ticketmaster aside, like, they'll pay for their crimes, but she didn't respond. So I was like, okay, well, don't know, like, what's her willingness to pay, if she even wants to go. So I was like, let me buy tickets, and worst case scenario, I sell them. You know?
Yeah, of course, like, of course.
And those are actually the cheapest tickets that I got.
Real.
And then I was like, you know, sometimes Dad feels left out. Like,
it's nice of you to consider him.
So
yeah, for sure. That's cool. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. My This Week Unfinished will actually lead us right into the topic, because This Week Unfinished for me is I started watching Couples Therapy.
Great show.
Oh my God, it's life-changing. I have been thinking about childhood trauma like never before. And it is so, I think the word Ma used, it's like, it's so voyeuristic. Like, you're just so deep in somebody else's problems. It's like fascinating and amazing. Like, you get to delve in on somebody's deepest traumas and problems in their intimate life. So I'm loving it, and I'm here for the drama. I'm here for rooting for certain sides and like talking shit about the other, and then flipping because Orna does her magic. But yeah, I will say that. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love when she like you also get insight into her like consulting her like advisor.
Yeah. Nobody is completely objective. Yeah, like she has her own shit. She's very much like. In Game Recognized Game, she does like the praise. Like, she does want to be a solver of problems very deeply. And like, I've just been watching some really good episodes. If you haven't seen it, you should tune the F in. Yeah.
That is like a must watch. And also, like, it's funny to think that the episode will air and they'll hear her being like, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
you know?
I think about that. Like, have the couples gone back and watched their episodes?
Have to.
They right. I don't. For some of them, I don't think I would be able to. Like, if they broke up, I just like would not be able to go back and revisit that. Maybe in like 10 years.
Yeah.
If it was a happy ending, like, sure, yeah, and then you could like gloat about how you like did it and all the other couples didn't. Anyway, I need therapy. That's the takeaway.
Like, you're in competition with a fictional other couple. You're not even in a relationship. Is crazy.
Come on. You wouldn't go on that show being like, the other couples, we got this in the bag.
Like, we solved our shit.
Yeah.
Live on the air.
Yeah, the conclusion I'm definitely taking away is I need to go back to therapy.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, big time. So I guess to get into the topic, therapy is one thing that I have quit and I have not finished, so to speak. And I started my therapy journey when I was, I guess, like, I must have been 23. Was when I first got a therapist. Like, I was working a good job, like a corporate job, so I had good insurance, and I was like, everybody's doing it. I'm not short of problems. So, and it was a time of my life where I was really like doing a lot. Like, I was just like working all the time, and I just like was trying to maintain some sort of work life. Oh yeah, I had a horrible couple of years in the media industry, which I'll talk about on another podcast.
I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah. And I was in New York, and, you know, I was on my own.
Were you living in Manhattan at the time?
At that time, I think I had just moved to Brooklyn, but like just the year before or something. I was in Manhattan. But, like, I had a man therapist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they
He was
even
a
make
black
those
man.
anymore?
I don't. Yeah, they're a little outdated. But no, it was I had a man therapist. I remember him, and he
older, right?
he was older than he was no, he wasn't like old. He was like a young dude.
Oh,
yeah, he must have been like early 30s at most.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't know about therapyforblackgirls.com at that time.
Okay.
I don't even know if that was a thing. So honestly, I was just trying to find a black therapist.
Yeah.
Amongst the sea of white that was on Psychology Today or whatever the fuck I was looking on. So I found him. He seemed nice. He had a professional looking website. He's not a scammer. And I also went in person, very pre-pandemic of me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think I would be so uncomfortable doing therapy in person. I don't know why. You
think so? It's too intimate.
Yeah.
It was interesting. And yeah, I don't want to like dox him or anything, so I won't say his name, but the thing about him, okay, so I often am like, why didn't that work out? I think it was because he was a man. And it wasn't like he was super misogynistic or anything, but God, the gendered experience is just different. And
you cannot
he was giving
relate.
he was giving me advice that was triggering the fuck out of me. For example, he was like, you should work out, like you should exercise. What he meant, if I were to put on my objective face, he was like a former football player. And like physical exercise was his like, means of healing and all of this shit. And I didn't exercise at the time, but any man who tells me to exercise, I'm immediately so fucking triggered. Yeah. And I like would damn near check out when he said shit like that. And I like literally, and I remember like I get so triggered when men in exercise, anything, I can't handle it. It's definitely on daddy issues, whatever. But like I was just telling my friends, like, cause I'm watching couples therapy, and I was like, with my ex, and I remember my ex like invited me to go to the gym with him. He goes to the gym all the time. I love that for me. Like I love a man who works on himself, but like he invited me to go to the gym with him immediately. I'm like, you think I'm fat? That's why you want me to go to the gym with you? How dare you?
Oh my
like,
God.
And I have issues in that area. Like I can't handle it. So that was the kind of therapist he was. He just like, it did not really get.
It wasn't resonating with him. He didn't even really like clock that you were having a reaction.
That's the thing. Like he didn't clock it, but also I hide it. And that's my thing with therapy. I think I am a master deflector. I'm a master. Like I perfected it. Somebody should give me the tools to teach a course because I'd make a lot of money. And I'm a master at like people pleasing. And like if I have a therapist like Orna who's like desperate to be working, I'll make you think, oh, you're doing
manufacture a problem for you to solve.
I'll manufacture a problem. I'll tell you that this has been like one of the best sessions. I'll give the tears and then I'll go and be like, that didn't solve anything for me. Because that is how I operate. So like it really wasn't working with him because he wasn't clocking anything. It was nice. Like I did learn a few things about therapy. Like, oh, it's a nice place for me to like talk and release my feelings. But I wasn't doing it to a full extent.
Interesting.
So eventually I quit that. And then I got another.
How long were you in that?
I was in that maybe 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
So a decent amount of time.
It's like 30 sessions.
Yeah. It might have been less than.
Was it weekly?
I think it was bi-weekly. So maybe 5 to 6 months. Something like that. So I did that. Then I quit. Can't remember. Yeah. Then post-pandemic.
Right.
pandemic was hard for me. I don't really want to get into it. It was hard for everyone.
It's a bit long of a story for the pod.
Pandemic was really, really hard for me. Yeah. It was hard for everyone. So like naturally, I'm like, I need a therapist.
Yeah.
Need one bad. And yeah, sorry. I looked for one. Now I'm like, I know I need a woman this time. I know I need a Black woman. So I found one, did it virtually. She was a bit of a weirdo. She was a bit of a weirdo. Yeah, she wasn't like, I don't know. She was listening to me. It kind of felt like, so I'm not even trying to be classist. Like she got her degree online and she like missed a lot of classes or something. And
Zoom
like,
University kind of thing? Did you?
Yeah. And I remember at the end of one session, she was like, oh, you're Filipino? My son is dating a Filipino woman and I love like all these types of foods. And like, was really trying to engage me on it. I don't know why, but it was just a bit weird. Bit weird. And I was like, this is, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So then I found the best therapist I ever had. And she was great. I have no complaints about her. She's a Black woman, very good at clocking my tea.
How long did you see the last therapist?
2 sessions max.
You were like, this isn't going to work for us.
It's not going to work out. Yeah. It's not you. It's me not liking you. So we did that. And then, I found my other therapist. Let's call her Annie. She was dope. She was a Black woman. It was a virtual as well, but she was pretty good at clocking my tea. The deflecting. I would make jokes and this woman would give me nothing. It was making me mad.
Yeah, that would actually make me mad.
Yeah. I was like, I know I'm fucking funny. Yeah. Like, I know I am. You can't take that from me. But it was really, yeah. She wasn't. It was so interesting to me. I was like, okay, she's not gonna
actually kind of like fair. Like you're using it as a defense mechanism.
100%. Yeah, she was not having it. So it was uncomfortable at first, but we got into some things. We got into like childhood. I talked about, the parents a lot. I talked about pandemic year. I talked about like my friends and all this stuff going on. And she had really good insights and I felt very comfortable with her. But maybe a little too comfortable because she had a baby. She was going on maternity leave and she was like, she told me well in advance. And she was like, I'm going to be here after. I just, have a few months maternity leave. So let me know if you need a referral in the meantime. And then we'll start back our sessions. That lady emailed me when she was off maternity leave. And I did not respond at all.
What do you think that was?
I don't know. Like, I think that's why I need therapy again to ghost someone, I guess, in such a, it felt like I think it's wrong what I did. Because first of all, I couldn't have been like, congratulations on your baby. So sorry, I won't be needing the sessions. I thought about sending that email for weeks. I couldn't do it, or like I just avoided it. And I think it speaks to me a lot and like my avoidance shit. But I couldn't do it and I still haven't. And I feel bad about it to this day. I feel like a fucking deadbeat or something. Like she had her baby and I was just gone.
But the thing is, that's not the dynamic. That, like from a person to person thing, I understand why you feel that way. But like she's very much a person working a job.
She's trying to get a client back. Right. And that's how I justified it in my head.
Not even saying on a money tip, like people are at their own whim capable of starting and stopping therapy at any moment.
100%.
yes, it's kind of like, damn, like this person fell off the face of the earth, don't know what happened to them, but that's kind of the how it shakes out sometimes, you know?
It is. It is. It would just be, the only thing about it is, in my particular situation, is that's kind of my MO. Is like, damn, that girl fell off the face of the earth. Wonder where she's at. Like, that's how I tend to operate. Go ahead.
She should know that better than anyone, no?
And she does. I know that bitch in her head.
The fact that she didn't follow up is actually maybe a fault of hers.
Nah, she knew. I think we both knew.
Do you think if she would have followed up, would you have like been like, okay, damn, I'll say something? Having stewed over it over a while.
Yeah, I think I would have said something.
Would you say, okay, yeah, let's sign up for a new session? Or would you say, oh, congrats on the baby, but I think we're done here?
I would have said, I think we're done here.
Interesting.
And,
okay,
and
so...
the thing about it is also, I think at the time I was also having like, I think there are limits to Western therapy.
Yeah.
And I see it in couples therapy, like the show. There are just limits to Western therapy.
Because
like,
you're only getting one
side.
Yeah. Even in couples therapy, you're only getting what they're showing.
Yes. You. Yes, exactly. So at the end of the day, there are just limits that I think, yes, on one hand, I use those limits to excuse myself from having to do some necessary work. But also, yeah, I feel like there are other ways to heal. There are definitely other ways to heal. There are other approaches to, like, you know, resolving some of the issues in your life. And I just felt like therapy, I didn't want to do that anymore at that juncture in my life. So, but now, you know,
we
I'm
are
back
so
to,
back,
like,
baby.
we're so back. So yeah. But yeah,
it's kind of interesting you said that, because I was having a conversation with my friend a while back, and she was like, yeah, like, I feel like now that I'm in therapy, or she had been in therapy for a while, but like she finds herself not sharing as much of her problems with her friends. And she was basically posing like, do we think that therapy is like a replacement for that? Exactly. And I was like, can't be, because the role is so different. It's one is you talking about your stuff from your perspective and internal thing. And your friends are the only people, your friends and family people in your life, the only people that have the context to know if you're on some fucking bullshit.
100%.
Like, the community around you is like, you have to share what's going on in your head, because like they have the context to actually like put it in perspective for you. Exactly.
I got into a very big fight with someone recently, the most toxic person I've ever met. And they're in therapy. And they are literally on the phone with their therapist talking about how they're the victim. And their therapist is going, yeah, this and this and that. Like, this person is a bad person, a bad person. And the thing about Western therapy is you get to pay someone who has a vested interest in you coming back to them. So, like, not every therapist is going to just, I mean, you see it in the show too, like, there is a vested interest in keeping them coming back. So you can be the one to solve their thing, when actually, like, that may color the way that you're counseling this person. Yeah. So yeah, you have to, it cannot be this, you know, capitalism has made it so that rather than going to your community, or you tend to go to this person that you pay who's a completely outside perspective, and it's just, it doesn't resolve.
Yeah, there is, if you don't have a level of self-awareness and honesty, it's pointless. It actually could be a detriment.
Right. Not only to you, but those around you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, so I started therapy. My first therapist I had was it had to be 2020. It was in the pandemic era. Yeah.
Got it.
And I think I saw her for maybe like summertime until September. So like,
Okay.
I don't know, 4 months. At the time, I think therapy was kind of free. Like the situation was just kind of like,
That's crazy.
everybody's going to need some of this.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if that was a COVID thing or like what.
Word.
It also wasn't though. I was getting a copay, but I think it was like, I actually don't know the situation because I'm like, did I have benefits? Oh, I was on my parents' insurance because I was still like a child.
Under 26, yeah.
And she was interesting because she constantly was like, I think on our first session, she was like, what is your sign? Like, what? What?
Oh, no. I would have checked out.
I was like, oh, I'm a Libra. And I think she was also a Libra, which like, now you're kind of projecting your shit onto me instead of taking an objective like stance on why I am the way I am. Right. Our first session, she was like, how's your relationship with your family? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, like good. Like I live with my parents right now, like really tight with my parents right now. Like I had some stuff, but they kind of like apologized for it. So we're kind of good right now. My sister, she's gone. Like, but like, I'm not going to get into that right now. She actually don't think she ever circled back on that. I don't think.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's really crazy.
Don't remember. Yeah. Cause I had only until like recently was processing with my current therapist. Whoa. That era. Anyway.
Okay, because real quick context, I was stuck in another country.
Yes.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it was
unreachably
just like I had a different. Yes.
So yeah. Naturally.
Yeah. Naturally.
But I was like, oh, in my mind at the time to cope, I was like, she's good. Like I just need to not worry about that. And I was right.
Fair. Yeah.
Crazy, it never came up again. She actually didn't ask about my parents again the entire time that I saw her.
That's bad therapy.
Yeah, I'm like, she like low-key was like not good at her job. Constantly was like, yep, that's Libra in you.
No fucking way.
I'm like, are you dead ass? Are you dead ass? Like, where did you get this license from?
She got it from Johnny Nicholas.
From where?
Johnny Nicholas, who the fuck? Like, that lady who does astrology on? Oh God, it's
different algorithm. Whatever. I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So it was crazy, and then one day, okay, I feel like I'm gonna come out sounding like a bad person for this.
Go for it. It's a safe space, brother.
But it was because it was a pattern with her. But one day she was like, yeah, like she said my house burned down. And I was like, what? But really what happened was, I guess someone lit a cigarette, they have a couch on their like deck. She lit a cigarette. And funny, like that, there's no confidentiality on my end. So I'm going to share her story. Imagine if she had a podcast talking about me. Anyway, lit cigarette
so
on a couch. You're triggering me. Someone left a cigarette or something on like a couch outside her thing. So like that deck, she had like one of those like walk up things on the outside where every level has like a little deck. So it wasn't actually that her house burned down, but like the fire department putting out that fire caused so much water damage to the side of her apartment.
Oh, okay.
And then she was like, yeah, now I'm staying with my friend. And this, that, and the third is happening. And I'm like, the fact that I know so many details and we're counting it 5 years later means that she spent entirely too much time of my session.
Right.
Talking about some stuff that I'm like, I actually have a lot going on right now.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Where is your therapist?
Yes. And that, I think there is something to say about the idea, like, yes, we should know a little bit about our therapist, because at one point Annie was a little bit like, I don't know shit about you. Who are you married to? Like, what's your, like, how do I trust your information?
Yeah.
Because I don't know too much about you. However, there is a limit that gets crossed, a line that gets crossed when it's like, who is this about?
Yeah. Yeah. I think like her therapist does a great job. Like, she's not too withholding where I'm now suspicious. Right. But she does like keep a clear boundary, and I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm also like, I need to work on taking up the time, because I know I can deflect in a way of like, oh, I'm going to ask you about you. I do that a lot to my friends, actually, where I'm like,
100%.
not talking at all about my life because I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, so that lady, like, and the other thing is, at the time I was like, I guess not dating like physically because it was pandemic and lockdown, whatever.
Yeah.
But talking to guys like on dating apps, and she kept being like, oh, like, and I'm like, you know, this is weird. Like, you know, she's like, just ghost them. Like, she kept being like, she was like, I'm a huge proponent of ghosting. Like, I do it all the time. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I'm like, red flags going off. Alarm bells sound the alarm. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're supposed to be helping me improve my communication skills.
Yes. And
you're telling me to just ghost people?
Yikes. That's bad news.
Yeah. It was.
How do these people? I don't know.
Boots.
It's crazy how we just live in a society where the people who become these authorities.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, my therapist told me. I mean, she could have. I could have used that permissively.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yes, my therapist told me she should be banned from the English language because I don't care. You're being a bad person.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But something. Oh, sorry. So after you were with her.
So yeah, then. No, I'm not going to get into that. But so.
I kind of want you to, but it's okay.
I was kind of like, I need to be done with this.
Yeah.
And I think there was just like some sort of scheduling conflict that I had. And I was like, I'm just not going to reschedule. Then she emailed me and I was like, thought about ghosting her just because of the, it just felt right. But I was like, no, you know what? Like, because it made me mad that she gave me that advice.
Yeah. Do you think she was reverse psychologying you?
No, I don't think she had that.
No chance. Okay.
And
she didn't even have the psychology in her.
Yeah. Let alone the reverse.
Right.
So I did end up emailing her like, hey, like, I think I'm good. The other thing, okay, so the other thing is, and
yeah,
I'm also trying to give a little grace because I'm like, in the context of the pandemic, I'm sure one, things are probably hard for her. Second, everyone needs therapy now. Like, now more than ever, like, because also combined with the fact that we're going through a global pandemic, I think there was a big like push on Instagram for like everyone should be in therapy. So I think demand for therapists particularly went up around that time. I don't know. That's just speculation. But she was like, I think we should go down to every other week because we're seeing each other weekly.
Okay.
And I'm like, you've not even asked about my childhood, like, or like anything that I came here to talk about. Nothing has been addressed.
I love it.
And she was like, oh, I think we should.
I solved you, so.
So I was like,
That's
okay,
crazy.
I think we're good on this dynamic here. And then after that was not in therapy for maybe 3 years after. So that was 2020. And then I started therapy again in this apartment. So it was 2023. It's 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. Current therapist, love her. She's great.
Nice.
Does a good job of, I just like dump a lot of BS like in my mind. And she kind of like contextualizes it for me in a way of like, I didn't really think of that. She is really good at drawing patterns where I'm just giving her data points.
That's cool.
Know?
That's really cool.
Which I find very helpful. I wish I was better at journaling though, because sometimes it does feel a bit like I'm just like releasing and then going about my life for the next week.
Yeah.
Where like if I could start organizing it myself, we could get a little level deeper in the actual session. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. Journaling is tough. I think, especially consistently. But I think that I'm a journaler, and I have detailed journals for years and years and years. It doesn't always necessarily help. It helps, but it's not like, it would help to bring it to a therapist, I think. I also think it's interesting, like the drawing patterns. I think that's the best part of watching couples therapy is when they talk about their childhood and their patterns with, whatever. And then Orna, the therapist, goes, oh, and then they're talking about some problems that they have with their partner, and then it's like, oh, so like your mom, and then they're like, yeah, just, yeah. That's like the best.
Especially,
part.
it's most impressive to me when it's two, like in my mind, seemingly unrelated things.
Right.
And she's like, oh, but this is the same thought process you're having. I'm like, wow, you ate with that.
I know. Totally. Yeah. It's very cool. And I think that is kind of like a philosophy of life. You're kind of just a product of everything that has come before. And everything just builds on top of each other from your early years. Sometimes I wonder if there is too much emphasis on simply like it just being a mother wound or being like a father wound or whatever.
Like, because it doesn't matter why. It matters how you move forward. Is what you're saying?
Not necessarily. Like, I don't think everything. Like, I think there are more things than just the parents. I think there's school and I mean church and like all these other things. But I do, it's just interesting how much early childhood will like impact everything that you do. And
even more than like connecting things to past, it's like connecting like the way that I think about something at work to the way that I think about something when I'm like creating something or, you know, it's just like, I'm not thinking, I'm kind of a compartmentalized thinker. But like it is all related.
Yeah, definitely. You think you're putting it into boxes, but it's one big messy pile.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, I would like to be read for filth. I think that I'm due for it. And, you know, I do get that a lot from my friends. I think my friends weigh in a lot. But I also feel like I play this role in my friend group. I don't think it's a good thing necessarily. I'm neutral about it, where I give a lot of advice and I give a lot of like counsel. Part of me feels like, who the fuck am I? Like, I don't, like, I know whatever. Like, I know I'm valued and I value being valued and stuff, but like, I also am like, I don't have a goddamn clue. So I want someone to kind of like give it back to me.
Yeah. But you have to then share.
And I don't want to. So, no. But yeah, I do. And I've been trying more. I have been trying more. Like, I have been trying to be more transparent. I talk more about my past. I talk more about, like, issues that I'm having. But yeah, it's just, it doesn't come naturally. Isolation comes naturally. Avoiding comes naturally.
Period.
Like, dealing with it and then bringing it when it's resolved comes more naturally. But
you do that a lot, even with this move.
Oh, yeah.
You like just moved and you're like, hey, I moved. You didn't let anyone know you were in the process of moving or looking for a place.
Yeah, because it's very much like childhood.
Yeah. Being independent.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Like, even though we had a lot of support, we did have a lot of support in a lot of ways. It feels like emotionally almost, or emotionally, I was on my own.
Yeah.
Like, emotionally,
it's like,
if I had a problem, if I told you it was my fault or figure out how to fix it, it was never like, I'm here for you. So that's totally my MO. Like, if I'm having a housing sitch, then figure it out. And then, like, I'll tell you about it later. Yeah. Because if I tell you now, it's just going to stress me the fuck out, you know? So I do think, like, friend groups have always been, at least since high school, where I get emotional support. Yeah. So I have much easier time, like, telling the friends who are around me immediately. Because even I didn't tell my friends back home because it's kind of like, I don't know, the compartmentalization thing maybe. But anyway, I dealt with it. I did it.
Period.
I'm processing it later.
Look at this background.
I have houseplants. I have a shelf, you know. And it's like, Dad bought me that shelf though.
Oh,
like,
nice.
If I ask, I do get help. So sometimes
that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's there, but it's like,
it's a different though, because it's like, I got the house by myself. Yeah. If you could just throw in for a shelf, that'd be great. It's like, actually, that's not the real help that I needed. Yeah. Or like need, but I'm working on it. Or maybe I will when I get back into therapy.
Period.
Yeah. So Yeah. Ooh, we're getting deep on the pod.
Didn't mean for it to be therapy.
But yeah, do you feel like you have trouble opening up in that way? Like asking for help and...
Yeah. Also because often the challenge is admitting to myself, like, we're not good right now, you know? So...
Yes, totally.
If I don't even have that, like, I'm not really looking to let other people know. Like, how could I? And then when I do find out, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to solve it? I think the question often comes, am I doing everything I can to solve this by myself? And the answer is usually no. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm not working out. I'm not, like things that I know, I'm not eating healthy. Things that I know will improve my brain chemistry.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, okay, well, what? I'm just going to tell them and they're going to be like, well, have you tried this? Like, I know that I have the recipe, but I'm not cooking.
But the thing, but part of the recipe is supposed to be voicing it and hearing it, whether you know it already or not.
Yeah.
Like, that is supposed to be part of it, even though, like, we kind of skip that stuff in the cooking.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How do you think that plays between the two of us? To put on my Orna hat.
Sorry. I don't even understand the question.
Right. The question is like, okay, so here's something that I think about a lot. Mm-hmm. We have always been really close. I feel like I might have brought this up once before or something, but like, we've always been really close. But I feel like, do you feel like you come to me when you need help with something? Because I don't think you do. I'm thinking of the particular instance where you never came, you didn't come to me with your struggles about coming out. And when you came out to me, I was like, oh, okay.
That's so funny.
It's like, I was like, oh my God. This person who is so close to me has been struggling with this thing for like years and never told me. And I feel like I would have been really receptive, but I don't know. Yeah.
That's a fascinating question. I've never really thought about, because I don't think that I would never was like, oh, like, should I come out? Like, I was never texting anyone about that. Like, I was just like, at some point I was like, okay, like, it's time. You know?
Yeah.
And that's definitely on me, not really like...
You didn't know there was a problem.
Yeah. Or I'm like, oh, like, this is fine. Like, this is fine. Mm-hmm. I did come out to you earlier than most people.
Yeah, so, well, you came out to me when I came out to you.
Right. It's bisexual.
We were bisexual.
I'm not erasing your bisexuality.
No, it's fine.
Not true for me. It doesn't ring true for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Hilarious. Different podcast episode for sure, though.
Yeah, we got to get into that. But... but yeah.
I mean, in terms of like, I think that I come to you more as an adult. Like when the thing these days is my problems are all stemming from work. Like,
yeah.
So sure. Like, what really is like the thing that needs, like, I don't need help with that.
Yeah, that might be a primary. But okay, so sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, all good. I think, but yeah, other than that, like, I think when there are things that are novel that don't feel like just a kind of a waste of air, those things I feel like I do bring to you. Yeah.
But not everything is a waste of air that you might think it is. And I think, one thing I want to think that I think might be for both of us is like, one thing I was allowed to do was complain about school. Like, I was allowed to complain about school as being a drag, as being hard. So I have no problem, like, for example, going to the parents and complaining about work.
Yeah.
Like, I can complain about it, but I won't, and I'll receive, like, that sucks, you know. But real things that, like, really emotionally affect me, like, heartbreak or friendship struggles or like even struggles with them, like I never felt like I was allowed to come to them about that stuff. And I feel like, although yes, work stress is always ever present, like that feels easy to come to you about because we're used to being able to complain about that. But like there's always other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you don't. I'm just curious about your perspective on it.
Like coming to the parents about stuff?
Oh no, coming to me. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like you answered it. I'm just saying like maybe it's easy for you to come to me about work stuff, or like you're thinking about how work is easy to talk about because it's like forefront, but I feel like there's a history of us being able to
I often find
complain
myself
about
frustrated at how much I talk about work in therapy because I'm like, this is actually like, I have the recipe here. Like we're talking about setting boundaries and being communicative.
Yeah.
And true, these are skills I need to build and carry with me wherever I work. But like, I'm like, I'm getting tired of listening to myself talk about this. And I'm like, I don't want, like, obviously it's not my therapist's place to be like, I'm tired of talking about this. And she never would. But like, I'm like, damn, like like she's irritated.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we already covered your This Week Unfinished.
Yeah,
right?
This Week Unfinished. I'm finishing season 4 of Couples Therapy. Let's go.
Man, we really flew through that.
Yeah, I did. It's been a constant. I need to know. I'm eating it up. No. Just trying to take glimmers of other people's lives and maybe apply it up here.
Honestly, like that show, like you do think about, okay, like am I doing this? Like I'm often like asking, like, oh, am I showing these villain behaviors? Like, that's why I like think it's a good show. It's like it really makes you think.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this has been another episode of the You Can Finish That podcast. I'm Adji.
I'm Zila.
And we will see you next week.
Amazing.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.